You ask me what will happen during Kali Yuga, my Dwapara Yuga, after it finishes. There are so many things that will change. It will come in Bhagavatham later. Sukha will write something, but now I tell you before, this is how it is going to be. Kali Yuga, Kali, Maya will envelop the world. This is what Sukha will be telling you. Now I tell you even before that. Tadaschanidinam dharma satyam saukyam chamadaya kalena balina rajan nangsyathai ayur balam smriti. Religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, and longevity of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of the powerful influence of the age of Kali. That is Kaliyuga's Maya. In Kaliyuga, wealth alone will be considered the sign of a man's good birth. Proper behavior and fine qualities are not considered, only wealth. To classify something, somebody as having a proper behavior and fine qualities, his wealth alone will be considered. Law and justice will be applied only on the basis of somebody in power. The powerful people will twist the justice, or the justice will be differently applied to the people in power. Men and women will live together in that age also, but then merely because of the superficial attraction. Men and women live just because of the superficial attraction. Success in business will depend on deceit. Everywhere you can see deceit. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex, not like Dwapara Yuga, not like Tretha Yuga. This is different. And a man will be known as a Brahmana by just wearing a thread called Sutra or Onal or whatever name they call it. Just by wearing a thread, he will be called a Brahmana. A person's spiritual position will be ascertained merely according to external symbols. Maybe somebody is wearing a holy ash. On that same basis, people will change from one spiritual order to the next. Nobody adheres to the same. They want to change. A person's propriety will be seriously questioned if he does not earn a good living. I already told wealth will be the determinant of good living. And anyone who is very clever at juggling words, whoever is good at words, the language is superficial language, superficial words, he will be considered learned scholar. And the scholarship will be decided by people juggling their words. They will find out whether this word was already written or not, and they want to coin a new word, not understanding. Nothing is new, nothing is old. Everything is already there. A person will be judged unholy, yes, if he does not have money. And people will accept hypocrisy as virtue. All Maya. Marriage will be arranged simply by verbal agreement, and a person will think he is fit to appear in public If he has merely taken a bath, just taking a bath is enough. Somebody is considered holy and he goes and addresses public. The sacred place will be taken to consist of no more than a reservoir of water located at a distance. And beauty will be thought to depend on one's hairstyle. Filling the stomach will become the goal of life. Eating is going to be the passion, and one who is audacious will be accepted as truthful. He who can maintain a family will be regarded as an expert man, and the principles of religion will be observed only for the sake of reputation, no more. As the earth thus becomes crowded with corrupt population, whoever among any of the social classes show himself to be the strongest will gain political power. The mighty gain political power. He has to show his might. He can attack people, he can harm. Then only he gains political power, not by humility. Losing their wives and properties to such avaricious and merciless rulers who will behave no better than ordinary thieves. The citizens will flee to the mountains and forests. Raja, when king is not good, he's harming everybody, people have to go. Harassed by famine and excessive taxes, people will resort to eating leaves, roots, flesh, wild honey, fruits, flowers, and seeds. Struck by drought, plenty of rain sometime, they will become completely ruined. The citizens will suffer greatly from cold, wind, heat, rain, and snow. It will be too much to bear. They will be further tormented by quarrels, internal, external, hunger, thirst, disease, unimaginable diseases will come, and they mainly fall to severe anxiety. The maximum duration of life for human beings in Kali Yuga, it will start from 100 and it will deteriorate to 75 and then 50 and then maybe at the end see 25. That kind of deterioration in longevity of life is going to happen. By the time the age of Kali ends, the bodies of all creatures will be greatly reduced in size. They lose their potent, and the religious principles of followers of Varnashrama will be ruined. People who want to isolate themselves and think about God, that's gone. The path of the Vedas will be completely forgotten in human society, and so called religion will be mostly atheistic. The kings will mostly be almost thieves. They want to, they work for money, 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 money. The occupations of men will be stealing. Outwardly or inwardly, nobody knows. They may call it white collared jobs, white collared professional, and they will tell only half truth, quarter truth. They won't tell another word. It may hurt them. So they are very, very careful about expressing that word, not the truth, so that they can earn money. Lying and needless violence will be there, and all the social classes will be reduced to the lowest level. Cows will be like goats, spiritual hermitages will be no different from mundane houses, and family ties will be extended no further than immediate bonds of marriage. No father, mother, nobody wants to take care of elders, parents. The only married life, the pleasure of married life. That also, husband and wife mostly separate in their mind. Most plants and herbs will be tiny, and all trees will appear like dwarf cemeteries. Clouds will be full of lightning. Homes will be devoid of piety, and all humans beings will have become like donkeys and asses. At that time, so I have to come and establish dharma. I have to rescue the eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma. I have to take birth and protect the principles of religion, relieve. Still, there will be some saintly devotees. I have to protect them. I will come as Lord Kalki. I will be born the most eminent Brahmana of Sambala village. the great soul of Vishnuyasa. I'll come on my horse Devadatta. I will have a sword in my hand. I will travel over the earth exhibiting my 8 mystic opulences and 8 special qualities of Godhead, effulgence and speed. I will also kill the demons. Those kings were thieves, but they kill millions of people, and I have to annihilate them. Or if they hear me, they can change their mind, and I can give them pardon as well. After all the impostor kings have been killed, the residents of cities and towns will feel the breeze is carrying the most fragrance of the sandalwood paste and other decorations that is available in Vaikunda. And your mind will thereby become transcendental, pure, like what is there in Vaikunda. I can appear in your hearts in my transcendental form. Then the remaining citizens will abundantly repopulate the earth, and they will be nice and thinking wise. When the supreme problems of the world are annihilated, as a maintainer of religion, I am born as Kalki there, and I will make sure Satya Yuga to begin, and human society will bring forth progeny in the mode of goodness. Now, I'm going to tell what Satya Yuga, how it will be formed, and how it will look like. When the moon, the sun, and Brahaspati are together in the constellation of Karkataka, and all three enter simultaneously into the lunar mansion of Pushya, at that exact moment, the age of Satya or Kritha Yuga will begin. All the kings, past, present, and future, who belong to the dynasty of the sun and the moon, they belong to the sun and moon dynasties. From anybody's birth up to the coronation of King Nanda, 1150 years will pass. Of the 7 stars forming the constellation of the 7 sages, Pulaha and Kratu are the first to rise in the night sky. If a line running north and south were drawn through the midpoint, whichever of the lunar mansions this line passes through is said to be the ruling asterism and the constellation for that time. So it also changes. The 7 sages will remain connected with that particular lunar mansion for 100 human years. Current lifetime, they are situated in the nakshatra called Maka Nakshatra. I will look brilliant like the sun, and I will be known as Krishna. When I return to the spiritual sky, Kali entered in this world, and people then began to take pleasure in sinful activities. So when I go back to the spiritual sky, Kali enters the world. When I was there, Kali can't enter. When I touched the earth with my feet, Kali was powerless to subdue this planet. Constellation of the 7 sages is passing through the lunar mansion Maga. The age of Kali begins. It comprises 1200 years of demigods. When the great sages of Saptarishi constellation pass from Maga to Purvashada, Kali will have his full strength beginning from King Nanda and his dynasty. Those who scientifically understand, when I depart for the spiritual world, the influence of the age of Kali began. After 1000 celestial years of Kali Yuga, the Satya Yuga will manifest again. At that time, the minds of all men will become self-effulgent, shine. So far, I have described the royal dynasty of Manu as it is known on this earth. One can similarly study the history of Vaisya, Sudras, Brahmanas living in the various ages. Three, these personalities who were great souls are now known only by their names. They exist only in accounts from the past and only their fame remains on the earth. Devapi, the brother of Maharaja Santanu and Maru, the descendant of Ikshvaku, both possess great mystic strength and are living even now in village of Kalapa. At the end of the age of Kali, these two kings, having received instruction directly from me, will return to human society and re-establish the eternal religion of man, Sanatana Dharma, characterized by the divisions of Varna and Ashrama, just as it was before. The cycle of four ages, Satya Yuga, Tretha Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kaliyuga, continues perpetually among living beings on this earth, repeating the same general sequence of events. There is no change. My dear Bhaktas, I've described as well as all other human beings come to this earth and stake their claim, but ultimately they all must give up this world and meet their destruction. Whoever is born is destined to die also. Even though a person's body may now have the designation king or anything else, in the end its name will be worm, stool, or ashes. What can a person who injures other living beings for the sake of the body know about his own self interest, since his activities are simply leading him to hell? The materialistic king will think this unbounded earth was held by my predecessors and is now under my sovereignty. How can I arrange for it to remain in the hands of my son, grandsons, and other descendants? Although the foolish accept the body made of earth, water, and fire as me, and this earth as mine, in every case, they have ultimately abandoned both their body and the earth and passed away into oblivion. All the bhaktas, whoever tried to enjoy the earth by their strength, were reduced by the forces of time and nothing more than historical account. They all go. In Kali Yuga, I tell you the secret. Whatever sins happenings around you, whatever happens around you, it's not the karma that you do. What you do doesn't matter, good or bad deeds. If you do good, you will have to take birth as somebody and you have to reap the benefit of good. If you are doing bad, you have to reap the bad karma later. So the secret I tell you, just attribute whatever you do, all your karma to me, and I will take care. I will take all those things and I relieve you from the bondage. I relieve you from your karma. This I assure you. I will come back later. I'll meet you later.